On November 2019, I published one of my favorite videos of all time, Wii U Game Hunting in New York City, because I love NYC, I love this whole concept of game collecting and game hunting, and I love the Nintendo Wii U, which I had just gotten a couple of months before that trip. So I was like, wait a minute, considering there's a whole lot of game stores in New York, and we're traveling from Puerto Rico all the way to NYC, why not have some fun and work on a video to try and see just how many Wii U games can I actually find? Even if I don't necessarily buy them, this whole concept of a failed console that maybe some people love, but are there any actual games out there? And considering we're just 1 year removed from publishing that video, I went over to the YouTube community tab and I asked all of you, hey, would you be interested in me providing a commentary track, doing a behind the scenes look, and the overwhelming majority of people responded yes. So hey everybody, my name is Juan, and in this video, we are gonna be taking a look at a video. So we have a video within a video because as you can see on screen, we have 33 minutes, 17 seconds, Wii U Game Hunting in New York City dash player Juan. That's this guy right here. We're going to be taking a look at the video, reacting live, going to be pausing, giving some behind the scenes aspects. So if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know, did you find my channel because of this video? I feel like a lot of people did. It is a video that became suggested, which is not a common occurrence on YouTube. This is not the first travel video that I did. My first big one was with Easterland, which is a video game store, a place that I love in Virginia, and that was my inspiration to work on this video. I had traveled to New York City. This was my fourth trip, I believe. I went there in my honeymoon, went there once before. So yeah, it's been about the 3 or 4 trips, and I just thought to myself, why not really try to figure out a nice path? So everything that you're about to see here, I went on Google Maps. I made sure to plan everything, to have everything figured out, because I love taking the train in New York, but obviously it was going to take quite a while to be able to get to all of these places. And the lingering fear was, what if I go to a store, but I don't actually find any games? And how do I make that into part of the video without knowing beforehand, right? I didn't really have a specific mindset of which games I would like to buy. I think I had like 10 games. Monster Hunter Ultimate, which was actually one of the first games that I got. I had like 5 to 10 games, but generally speaking, I was trying to find games between $5 to $15 and just overall seeing the condition. You see these bins, they actually have their box art, but you know a lot of other places in GameStop, they'll omit the cover for the game. So to me, I was willing to sacrifice the manual, but I needed to have that cover and have it be in pretty good condition. Another thing here, as I pause, I mean, you can see I got a little bit of banana pudding there, and you won't see this on this main channel. So right now I am player Juan. Before that, I was Epic JC. Okay, I really need to find another. Give me a second here. There we go. That's a little bit more neutral. When I first launched my channel, it was not actually on YouTube. It was on VidMe. So here's even more behind the scenes. And when I launched it, it was a food / coffee / video game channel, which in hindsight, was a really weird idea. I feel like anybody that follows me on Twitch knows that I love food just as much, if not more, than gaming. I couldn't help but include some food stuff in this video. There's a very small amount of it. I have a lot more of that on my personal Instagram because I'm like, damn it, I don't have a food channel on YouTube, so where the hell do I put all that stuff? So I put it on my Instagram. This place here, a Book Off. I think a lot of people know it from other, well-respected YouTube channels. I think I first stumbled upon this store during the last day of my previous trip, where I went with my wife, and they actually had a couple of like buy two get one free stuff like that. So as opposed to leaving it to the very end of this trip, I went there first. I had gone there before, so I know the layout, but I needed to assume that you've never been there before, so I can try to give you a guided experience. So when I go there, I'm thinking of the Wii U section, but I'm also thinking of the overall scheme of the store, making sure that I can provide enough footage. But then I'm also trying to figure out, am I going to buy any of these games? And are there any PS3 things? Because like my PS3 videos are picking up around that same time. So it was all of this happening, and there's a little Easter egg there, which I don't know if I just skipped it again. Give it a second because I saw there before. You'll see, I even tried to crop off the fact that I was already holding a copy of Monster Hunter because I'm like, okay, I have a copy here. Each visit, I want to say this visit was like an hour long. And I forget if this was the first day or second day of the trip, but we went here super early. But yeah, here, when I went to the Wii U section, that's the first part that I went. I immediately grabbed that, but if you notice, now I'm going back, and I've yet to actually present the Wii U section. And this is another part I really enjoyed, is checking out some of the imports. And I was very compelled to buy some of them, but they didn't have a box, so I didn't do that. Oh, that right there. I showed that, and I think I even mentioned in the video, I own that game. I bought that at an electronics boutique. I think Game Boy Advance and just cardboard-based boxes collecting is very expensive. My mind was blown because look at that price. $47, people. $47, but you could just grab it right there. And my mindset was, just by me holding this, the price value is going down. Nothing against me, but I can't be the only person that's grabbing that. I think it's kind of insulting that the price is going to be the same. I mean, look at that one right there. That's a fairly good condition box. You can see, look at the edges on the right. And even as I was holding it, I know I could hypothetically bend it, mess it up, book off, maybe wouldn't care initially. But I was thinking, man, this is a fairly expensive item. It's just accessible there. And I thought that was just super odd. Okay, now, this is maybe one of the biggest inspirations, aside from polling all of you directly. One of my biggest inspirations to work on this video right now is my frustration because a whole lot of things have changed from then till now. The main one being the pandemic, right? I usually travel a couple of times each year. This is my first time where I will have gone an entire year without leaving Puerto Rico. But not just that, there's a lot of games in here that I was like, it's going to be $20 online. And some of the prices have actually gone up. You'll probably notice as we watch this video a couple of times, just me going like, man, even right now, I can see that copy of Game & Wario, Twilight Princess, I forget what that price was. So let's keep hitting play here. This is where the painful experience is going to begin. I still don't have Sonic Boom. See, that right there, $15. That's more or less the price that it's still going for online. I was just so convinced that I was going to be able to get it cheaper. Even during this trip, one of the biggest problems was, what if I found a game at a fairly good price, decent price, but I wanted to get a bigger deal. I didn't, and then I was like, oh, I'll just go back to the other store. But keep in mind that we are actually on vacation, and the vacation was not the Wii U Game Hunting trip. So I kind of just had to let some games go, but I just hated that. Look at that right now, $44. That may seem expensive. I hate the fact that it's got a sticker. That's kind of the price that it's going for right now. I forget the overall cost. There's one with an amiibo, I believe. Breath of the Wild, I still want to buy. See, that one I'm playing right now, and I have mentioned it in the previous video that I actually have that. That's way too expensive because that one's $20 without the plastic. I really want to get that copy of Wii Party U. The problem is you need a Wii Motion Plus, and there's a stand that comes with the full version. I've seen it go on eBay for about $45 or something like that. So I'm still waiting because I don't just want to get the physical copy. I want to make sure I get all of it. The sad part is I have that game in my collection. I've had that. It's right there in my background, and I've had that for couple of months now, and every time I'm like, I'm gonna get to it, and I just don't. If you have any game right now that you have that exact same thought process, please let me know in the comments. I still want that copy of Yoshi's Woolly World. Anytime that you see me zoom in, real talk, I just ran out of footage, so I just was like, I'm just gonna zoom in on that bad boy there. That game's gone on sale a couple of times now digitally for about $4 to $5 on Wii U, and I've almost bought it as a joke to make a full-on video about it. Oh, man. Yeah, these are the live reactions. So Skylanders Swap Force is another game that I'd love to do a cover on in this channel in the future because it's legit good. I played the PS4 version, and I found out that the portal, because you got to put these action figures up top, right? I have a lot of them. You can use that same PS4 portal on PS3 and I believe Wii U. So I only need to buy the game, and it was only $4 there. So I'm looking at that copy now going, damn it. Even though it's like $5 on eBay, so it's not super expensive. Another thing, and this is something maybe they don't want you to know too much, but I found about this in the previous trip. There's some drawers down there, and if you pull those bad boys out, you can actually find some additional games. That's still a pretty good deal. This is where I say I've actually still not played the game, so it's been a whole year and I've yet to play it. In this entire video, do want to point out, I am recording with that camera that you're watching me right now. This is the Lumix G85. So all the footage that you're seeing is me just plugging it. I had a lavalier microphone because I had a jacket on usually, right? So I just had the entire trip almost just had a microphone plugged in right here. So whenever I found something that was worth talking about, I just plug that into the camera and then do the whole selfie mode, which I've been open about my depression and anxiety. And if anything, this trip was a really good test of anxiety because it's one thing to hold out your phone in public because it's pretty small, right? But to actually hold out a fairly, not a large camera, but it's a lot more noticeable. It's in New York, so people honestly don't give a damn almost about whatever you do. But even then, if you notice, I am having the camera be towards the store, looking at me, looking down. So it's like the least intrusive amount. Really, I'm just finding a way to battle my anxiety. But a couple of times, yeah, see, like, even that right there was an exercise in anxiety. Okay, let me go back here. Even then, I was like, okay, I gotta loosen up. Notice I'm wearing my sunglasses. I was actually just casually wearing them. I also feel a lot less anxious when I'm wearing my sunglasses, which is why I was wearing them right there. This is where I had to sneak in some food stuff here. Man, the Nintendo World is an interesting store to go to because I feel like everybody should absolutely go to it. The problem is it is so commercialized. And like here, this was maybe my third time going to it. And it's cool to go to it, right? I think you should almost go every time. But this one, I was like, I can get a lot of this stuff on eBay or on Amazon. And you're not going to go in here looking for hidden gems, right? You're not going to be like, oh my goodness, here's a Wii U Game Corner. It's a nice historical piece. So if you've never been to New York and you're traveling, I mean, obviously right now the context is different, but if you've never been there, without question, if you're a big Nintendo fan, go there. I mean, just looking at all this stuff, it's like a dream come true in many regards, right? But it's kind of just like, whatever. Oh, okay. So here's a bit of a story. The only real reference to the Wii U is that console that is right there. I was thinking of what do I actually do to include it, and this is all improvised.
Nintendo is not that ashamed of it, at least in some way, shape, or form. Nintendo does fully embrace the Wii U, and it is in no way close to another commercial failure.
I will admit that was a stretch because it's just like, it's up there. I don't even know why I actually said that. As I mentioned, fully improvised. Sometimes I'm pretty good with improv stuff, even in my regular job. That time, If you notice there on the lower left, I put enthusiasm level high. Somebody watching this video, that one right, you probably were like, okay, Juan, you're editing out of order or something to make the story seem as if you're progressively getting worse, as in like really bad Wii U pickups. But that's what was actually happening. So as opposed to trying to hide it, I fully embraced it. So that's why I put enthusiasm level high, as in, hey, we're starting it off hot and spicy. It's a great trip. It'd be interesting to see which of these GameStops are still open and which are not, because we know that a lot of them have closed down, especially now. I don't know if I still have that original footage or not. Out of respect, I'm not going to share it. But the GameStop employees here in this location, they were talking about things that should not be talked about around customers. Like, they clearly did not really care too much that day or ever. I don't know what management is doing over there. See, that game right there, that Pac-Man game, I still want to have a copy of. I've gotten Star Fox since then. Man, that Mario game. With that, I was willing to buy a couple of purposely bad games, which we'll talk about later. I know there's a few that I do regret not getting, but at $15, it's like, you gotta have some kind of standards. See that $40, $40. That's another one that I want to get. That's extreme though. Angry Birds I don't have, but I have a threshold. I still need to buy a Super Smash. I need to get Mario Party 10. I know a lot of people hate that game, but I want to play it and judge it for myself.
They had maybe one of the widest selection of games, whether it be PS1, 2, 3, 4, for the Wii U, and for the Switch. They had a bunch of collector's editions that I didn't even know existed, but because it's one of these stores that's located in Manhattan in the very middle of it.
I wanted to just show me talking about that store there because this is one of the first game stores I visited, man, back in 2009, 8, whenever I traveled to New York for the first time. And it is a gaming haven as far as almost anything you want to buy, legit, they will probably have it at an unbelievably high premium cost, to the point that at one point I was almost going to take a picture with my phone, and I felt that pressure. And I just thought to myself, you know what? I'll just talk about it for a little while. Is it sad I'm looking at that ice cream cone thing in the background there? There were 2 stores that were actually cut out of this video for different reasons, out of respect that I like to promote positivity in this channel, so I'm not going to be here just talking smack about the stores. One of them, let's just say I was not treated the best. And even though they had some decent games, I have standards, right? Where I'm a customer, I'm going in there to not just record. I bought games. I bought a lot of stuff during this trip, but if you can't even bother to say hi to me or even pretend to care or look at me for 5 seconds or something, I don't want you to obsess over me as a customer, but there are different ways that you can make somebody feel unwelcome. So I went into a few stores and I went right there back out. I visited a whole lot of Starbucks and forget the other, Gregory's Coffee. Oh, this was super cool because this was just a little while after they announced that some GameStops were going to have retro games. It was cool to see, but I know that's some of the prices the games actually go for. Ever since then, especially during the pandemic, I know on the website, they've had a lot of buy two, get one, and people have been stocking up on retro games like crazy. Here's where the regrets start. Okay, what's the price on that? Okay, that's 20. That's that one I can live without still. I want to buy it eventually. I still don't have it. That I regret not buying. I think I had a lot of games that I kind of hid. Like, here's where the video Juan versus Juan going into a store to buy a game comes in. If I knew that I was contemplating buying a game, I would kind of hide it in another section till I finished recording. If I didn't buy the game, I put it right back. Okay, I'm not an asshole, people. Come on, I have standards. But this is one of the ones that I'm like, it's a fighting game on the Wii U. Maybe I don't care for it, but I love Tekken Tag. I love the first one. I don't think I've ever actually even played the sequel. In online, it does not cost 10. It's actually a little bit more. Mario Kart 8, I still need to buy, but I have the one on the Switch, so that's why I haven't actually purchased it, because it's like, really, why, right? I'm not actually going to play it. This is super cool. This is where I had to make some creative decisions about, okay, this is a Wii U Game Hunting trip, because don't think that I was just doing a generic game hunting video, and then halfway through I realized I wanted to do Wii U. Like, I knew going in it was going to be about the Wii U, but because I wasn't picking up a whole lot of stuff that I cared about, that's when I started sprinkling in some additional stuff, as you're seeing right now. Which these coasters we have in our family room, our entertainment area. I love having this. I think I even have one of those here. Well, I do. I have this Time Crisis one brought over here because I love this game so much. I still need to hook up my CRT television. I have a small one that this house that we bought came with. They left it there. And I still haven't really plugged it in. I like to do like a gun con section or something in the house. That'd be pretty awesome. And here's me singing badly. I am who I am. Like, this is me, right? I'm not a character. So my wife a couple of times just like, Juan, can you stop? I'm like, I can't stop. This is who I am, people. Okay, this is where we start having... Oh, wait. I got to pause here. I'm doing game hunting within game hunting right now. Man, that box has seen better days. This game I already have. I'm hoping to do some more Wii U coverage next year. I'm waiting right now for this whole PS5, Xbox One thing to die down a little bit. Oh man, that for $10 really was not bad. Why did I not buy? Oh, you can see my microphone cable there a little bit. I've seen that a little bit cheaper online. Yeah, you know what I love is that I seem to struggle a lot more. A game's freaking $5. At $5, like that game, without question, please buy it. Lego City Undercover is maybe one of the most underrated games of this/the previous generation, because it's also out on Switch and PS4 and all that. Freaking great game. See, that for $3 I should have bought. I love me some bad games, and at $3 I don't know why I didn't buy that. I struggled so hard. I was such a cheapskate sometimes in hindsight, because it's 4 for freaking $10, people, right? 4 for 10. I mean, 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks is like, what, $15? I mean, it's not 15, but you get the point. It's a little expensive. But here, I was so disappointed because I had heard about this game store. It was literally the block after that GameStop, which walking to that GameStop was around 40 minutes because there wasn't a direct train ride. And my wife and I just wanted to sightsee a little bit. In hindsight, I would have just done an Uber or something. It would have been way quicker, but not all places. That's why there's a couple of stores in this video, like Brooklyn Video Games. I love that place. I went there during my previous trip, but we didn't go there because it's just so lengthy. For anybody that's never been to New York, not just New York City, New York is massive. So people think that, oh, here's Manhattan, here's Brooklyn. It's like a 20-minute train ride. Not necessarily. And keep in mind that we're not from New York, so even though I am somewhat familiar with the whole train process, it's still a pain. A couple of times we actually took a wrong turn, so you got to go back, and there you're looking at 15, 20 minutes lost. Here I'm reacting to my conversation there because sometimes the color of my skin, I mean, something that I'm so thankful is that I rarely, if ever, have gotten comments about me being Puerto Rican, my name here and all that. But whenever I travel, people do look at me differently depending on some parts of North America. And you can tell. I had a very negative experience, and I think I talked about that in this video. If not, I'll bring it up here. In my first trip to New York, I went to a gaming/entertainment store with one of my best friends, and the security guard would not stop looking at me, but in a very specific way. And I'm like, dude, I'm here to look at games. So my friend's aunt just proceeds to defend me like nobody's ever defended me before, and I've always loved her for it. But you sometimes forget, like, oh, just because I look a certain way, you think I'm going to rob a place? It's like, what the hell is wrong with you, right? And it's a very concerning thing. It's very disappointing. This is a GameStop that I always visit. The problem is it's in a very streamlined location. So it's like a toy shop first and a GameStop second. I'm very happy that I stumbled upon those coasters. Oh, I recently talked about that game. I think I referenced in this video that I picked up that game recently, but see, that's $2.99. It was cheaper than the price that I got for it online. I've actually seen it for less than that at some parts. So I don't know what the physical in-store situation with GameStop looks like, but man, for PS3 pickups, it is ridiculous. Like sometimes, like that, $15, give or take, right? It's not the best price. But man, sometimes you'll get some insane deals, especially if you got those like 4 for 10 or buy 2 get 2. I was getting very desperate there because I'm noticing a trend that the more accessible we like, the more streamlined GameStop that we went to, the less Wii U stuff there was, etc. I may need a hug soon. Here, I know I'm gonna start having some regrets. I would have bought that game for $10. That Fast and Furious game, I've seen it for a little bit less. But that Hot Wheels one, for 10, I should have bought it. Wait, what was, hey, back the truck up, Juan. What was that price for that Ghost? I've still yet to buy that. I know a couple of you have suggested I get some COD games. Ninja Gaiden for 5 is great. Okay, 15, so that's about the same price as online. See, Game Party, that goes for 8 to 15, so I regret not buying that. And I actually had that with me. They had the 4 for 10, and why? Why? Oh yeah, see, okay, that was I remember now. Yeah, yeah, because what the hell's wrong with you, Juan? Okay, I need a moment. I need a moment right now. It's 4 for 10. Did I say 5 for 10 or before? It's 4 for 10. You already got two games. Get literally anything else. And oh my god, even if I had two copies of that Mickey game, look, look. I'm seriously upset at myself right now looking at this. I don't like this video anymore, people. This is painful for me. You see, you could have bought that. Fortune Street. You know, I didn't even know that game had online. The online's been shut down ever since then, but it's one of those games that are before the pandemic. We'd always have a lot of friends come by. It's like Monopoly. I've wanted to do like a deeper video on it. It's just difficult because it's a board game type of deal, right? So I know that in this part I talk about the whole concept that look, I'm not just gonna buy every single game out there. Keep in mind that I had just done my Wii U video in July, June was my pickups. We're talking October here, so I'm still fairly new to the Wii U family. And the more that I've learned about the collection, right? Like I do a lot of prep work for every single video that I work on, so I've learned a lot ever since then about the Wii U. Which does anybody know where that polo shirt is? That shirt that I'm wearing, we moved houses and I haven't found it. Where is that shirt? I like that shirt. I look good in that. Do I look good in that shirt? Let me know in the comments. There, yeah, something started happening in the trip there where Nicole started having a lot better pickups than I was. Like they actually have that sometimes in the background. I think this trip was very successful for game accessories because we used a lot of these different things. I do wish that I was able to do this as a kid. Watching this right now, and I think I made reference before, one of the main reasons that I've loved to work on this type of video is that, look, I'm showcasing a video of me visiting multiple places in New York. We know that because of the pandemic, the context would be very different. So even me looking at this right now, I'm getting like a little bit emotional and sentimental because it's like, think about the context. I'm traveling with my wife in vacation, going to different places. I need a hug in that part right now. I'm looking at people. I'm not wearing a mask there, right? The whole world has changed in just 1 year, which is just mind blowing, which leads to this. It's a time capsule. Anybody, whenever you can, safely, of course, if you ever travel to another place, have a fun trip experience like this. And you can record it with your phone because you can look back at that in a year, 10, 15 years from now, and you will have a time capsule of that point in your life. I got a copy of Pikmin, but it's the Nintendo Selects version. Wait, was this the one that had the SteamWorld games? Like I mentioned, I'm really bad at just remembering stuff. Why is that game? You know, actually, I think I referenced in this video. I wanted to look up gameplay of that sports game, but I haven't seen it. Why was it $30? Holy crap! I was legit frustrated at that part. What was happening is we bumped into a famous celebrity from a series. I forgot his name right now, which defeats the whole purpose of famous celebrity. But it's somebody that I actually watched in shows. I was telling Nicole, I don't know if I'm gonna work on this video. I was actually thinking, like, I don't know if what I'm recording right now is good enough to work on a full-fledged video. And then I realized, wait a minute, embrace. You can embrace exactly what's happening. You can make fun of yourself and have some donuts, because that's a donut cannoli, which just freaking oh my goodness. That looks so good. It was delicious, people. I'm recording this at 11 p.m. at night right now. This was a bad idea. By the way, that backpack I have had since, man, I've owned that backpack for like over 10 years, and I still use it for work, for travel. It's just, am I the only person that there are certain things that you just buy for life? And I think that is it for me. Yeah. Look, even I make a direct reference. I regret buying not. Okay. I can't stress enough, because I think in this part of the video, you'll notice in the OG version, I do voiceover for some stuff, because either in hindsight, I wanted to add some additional context, or sometimes the stores have a lot of licensed music running in the background. I was like, hell no, that's not going to happen. So I had to dub over. When I saw this, my level of hope went from 0 to 100. I was so damn happy. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen the original video. They had the box, but they didn't have the game. So we're going to keep watching this video with this high level of just happiness, joy. What's that copy of Twilight? Juan. Oh, 40. I mean, it's not bad. It's what it costs. I think that game's price has gone down ever since then, at least a little bit. I want to buy it eventually, but I would love, if anybody has a question of would I like to have a complete Wii U game collection, yeah, because there's less than 200 games physically. I think it's like 174 or something like that. But hey, an actual good pickup there. I'm not going to just, go out there spending like there's Devil's Third, which is one of the most expensive games on Wii U. I'm transporting myself emotionally to that moment of just like, finally, I got some freaking games, people. Got some damn games. I played that version of Assassin's Creed 3. No. I played Black Flag on Wii U. I played Black Flag on Wii U, and it looks fine, but that frame rate, though. Oh my goodness, that frame rate. It's playable. I like to see if it's better or worse than the PS3 version. Hey, that game's pretty good. I did a video on that. But I only did a pickups, I do want to do some more Wii coverage. I have a whole lot of Wii games, and I've done next to no videos about with that. And remember, all Wii U consoles can play Wii games. And that Ghost Recon game's pretty damn good. It's like a rail shooter, except you can kind of move around. It's like a cover shooter. I have played a Tony Hawk game that I get later in this video. This is called Juan. You're going to be perfectly transparent here. This is called Juan. Record some stuff in case you want to add some more entertainment in the video if you define this as entertainment. I had a lot of people call me out. Okay, look. Let me get to the point. I'll get to the point here. Got to make sure to pause at the right moment. I need to make sure I don't miss what I'm waiting. Okay. Squirrel. Keep in mind, the screen on the camera that I record there is less than half of this. So I think a lot of people think that I'm recording like this while I'm looking elsewhere. I'm just looking. I sound like such an idiot in the video. But keep in mind that I'm looking at the screen, so I don't notice the squirrel running away there. Even now, it's like super obvious, right? It's a video. We literally pause there, but I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the damn squirrel? And I got a lot of comments of people just being like, dude, are you a moron? Which, yes, of course. But in addition to that, I hadn't seen him. This is one of my favorite spots in New York. Seriously, so good. We went there during our honeymoon, and we were freezing our hands at that moment because we went through winter to the point that this phone froze. It legit froze during our honeymoon. And I have some nerve damage in the right part of my body, and whenever it gets really cold, I lose feeling. And in that honeymoon trip, I actually lost feeling in this arm. So people would see me going around, like for wrestling fans, I look like Shinsuke Nakamura or something, but I was doing this, just like, wake up, buddy. But because we traveled here in October, we didn't have that problem. I think traveling to New York in October, November, probably the best. I've gone there in summer, winter. Summer, oof, no, people. Don't. I mean, if you have to, go right ahead. New York is always good. I wasn't sure if I was just going to do... anybody that saw my Easterland video, you will see that there I did both, and I did a 2-in-1. So not only did I cover the actual visit to the Easterland place, afterwards I did the pickups, which in hindsight was not a good idea because I feel like there were two very different tones in one video. And here I realized, okay, let me focus on the trip, and then afterwards, once I'm back home or whatever, I can reflect, I can react, right? I can have some time to research things and have a better context. But I wanted to have this type of deal of just like a small pause of here's where we are as far as the games that we picked up recently. That's the little microphone there. I've had that microphone for over a decade, people. Now that I think about it, because I bought that, no, not a decade. I've had it for 8 years. The website doesn't even exist anymore. It was a custom-made microphone, and I've used that for short films, documentaries. I've been using that for I have a new food adventure for those in Puerto Rico or those that enjoy Spanish language content. It's called Come con Juan on Facebook. So if you want to see me, but on a food adventure to get some damn sexy, delicious donuts, I have that there. Something else that I started to do around this point is take a somewhat of a break and go on eBay and be able to compare how are the prices that I've gotten versus the ones available online. I'm willing to sometimes, spend more money on an in-person copy because you never know what you're going to get on eBay, right? I've been fortunate in that most of my video game pickups, I mean, I've done a whole lot of those videos, right? I haven't had a problem that I can think of where a game hasn't been able to be read or something. Right now I have a game that's been lost in the mail, but the person was responsible, so it's kind of awkward because it's like, well, you shipped the game, but I haven't gotten it, so what happened? So I gotta be in contact with eBay. I would like to do some more pickup videos. I've done a lot of, I've picked up a lot of games, especially from Easterland during the pandemic, but the problem is that because I haven't played the game other than, hey, here's why I bought a game, I don't have a lot more to say about that game because I like to be able to give my impressions about it. So that's why, if you've noticed, I like to lump up videos of, 2 or 3 games, but I want to start doing deeper dives into some of the games that I'm playing now. Now, this store here this is the must. If there's one store that I can safely tell everybody, this is the place you absolutely have got to visit in New York, it is Video Games New York, because it's basically the best of all the worlds. It's got a large selection of video games. It's got pretty good prices. It's got some imported stuff. So if you want to go outside the North American region, you can go there and pick some stuff up. And they also have some pretty good deals.
Where's the Wii U games at? Where are they at? Oh my goodness, look at this though. What I love about Video Games New York is that they have a little bit of everything. This is the definitive video game store that you got to check out in New York, which is why I'm so disappointed that it took my wife reminding me that we hadn't gone on this trip, because to me, I was so sure of it. I mean, just look over here. New and factory sealed Super Nintendo games. You have Aladdin, Doom, The Lion King. So many incredible games. You have the used versions, in box. Look at that. Aladdin, $40, $50. So depending the quality, that's going to be the price, and it's really not that bad. Hi, do you have any Wii U games?
Yeah, some of them are up here, and then there's like brand new copies of some Wii U game in the back of the case.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. I'm really just showcasing a lot of games, not thinking I'm going to buy anything because I hadn't seen a lot of Wii U stuff, and I was thinking if they have anything, it's probably going to be very expensive, but then I go to another, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. First, okay, let's pause here. Mario Maker 20, that's not bad. That Splinter Cell Blacklist, I wish I would have bought. Mario Maker Complete in Box. Revelations at 15. There's some decent prices here. Mario Tennis is 40. I've heard nothing but horrible things about that version of the game. But I really like what's about to happen here because I think I was about to leave at this point, and my wife and I were just getting ready for dinner. When I go to the PS3 section, in the actual video, and I think I even put a clip here, I make a sound. Like whenever I really like something, I'll do something like a, I'm gonna cry right now. Almost every game is below $15. Holy crap. The infamous collection. This is insane. I don't know what to get right now. I have a royalty-free license for some B-roll for other projects that I'm involved with, and I legit try to sneak in that clip every single time, only because my wife hates that person. I think everybody hates that guy in that video, so I had to include him in there, man. Because when I saw that deal, not only did they have that deal, the prices on PS3 games were way below the expected one. Like you'll see that copy of that was the name of it, Prototype 2. You're gonna see that in just a second. It was so damn cheap. Even the guy at the store, he started asking a lot of the other clerks if that was the actual price. My theory here, don't know why I'm doing this so much. My theory is that the standard price of Prototype 2 was supposed to be that price. I think it was $10, but they just looked up the price for Prototype 2 and put it on there because it's not the best collector's edition of all time or anything, but look at the size of that thing. I mean, it's got to be more than $10, considering it was basically like new. Like, I opened that up carefully afterwards, and it was in excellent condition. Anybody that's been subscribed and has seen my PS3 videos, I covered Full Auto 2 recently, and I played a little bit of that, especially now with the whole hype train with Hyrule Warriors. I've gone back and checked that out. I made reference to Mod Nation Racers. I started playing Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, which I also got here. Oh man, I got to play that some more because I've seen people say very positive things about it. I'm not loving the animation. The animation in that's a really big turnoff. This game's legit freaking good. That game is way better than it has any right to be. It's kind of symbolic that in a video focused on Wii U, I close things off with a lot of positive light on the PS3 games. Because if you look at this channel, basically those are the two things that I love to cover and adjacent things to it, right? So Wii U, I like to cover Wii if possible. PS3, I love PS3 and back, mainly PS3 and PS1, because we all know that all PS3s are backwards compatible with PS1 games. So I like that nice collection there. And hopefully everybody enjoyed this this conversation piece about it. The actual editing process of this, I will say, is very challenging because when I got home, keep in mind I have to import all this stuff into my computer. I have to look at it and I come from a digital film production background. I've worked on documentaries and different things. So I was thinking, okay, what do I actually have? It's just a lot of, that's the actual list of games that I had in mind for possibly buying. But what I wanted to say here is I have an idea of what I can do with those clips, but I also have to figure out, is it fun? Is it not? Is there anything I can move? And that's why, for example, those two stores, I have video of me talking about those stores initially, but as I'm talking about them, I'm realizing, Juan, it's nothing but a negative experience. You were not happy with that. And that's a whole lot of footage that I just threw away because just because I recorded something, that doesn't necessarily mean I have to put that out there, right? Because it wasn't going to be good for the store, but really it was just going to bring a lot of negativity here. Even in the video, if you notice, I take a negative situation where I maybe wasn't getting a lot of Wii U games, but I poke fun at myself. I have fun. So even though it's not great, I think it's fun for the purpose of a video, and it made that last pickup session at Video Games New York that much better. The scary part, and I made a lot of references to this with my wife as we were walking, was what if I hadn't had that last pickup? If you notice there, I think the video would have had a very different tone because it would have been super anticlimactic. It was solid pickups at the beginning, and then we're going down and down and down, and then like, subscribe, share, blah, 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 and then we're done. But luckily, we were able to have a nice little bow tie there at the end with some solid pickups, and not just Wii U, because you saw I got that copy of Pikmin. I had a lot of fun working on that. And I even got sentimental because I've mentioned before, those are the videos, if I could produce those type of videos full time, not even just necessarily about video games. I've mentioned that I opened up a Spanish language vlog on Facebook and on my Instagram. It's the type of content that I love to watch. It's the type of content that inspires me. Like anybody that loves diners, drive-ins, and dives, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is my inspiration for that type of deal. It's like quick pick up. Let's not get overly deep into some things, but it's more about the positive experience. It's about the conversations, discovering things. I have a lot of you that have told me, hey, it's because of you that I bought Wii U games, or it's because of you that I found out that the PS3 can in fact play PS1 games. And I like that to be the base of the conversation, because when I say that all of you do inspire me, the content that I produce is directly based on what we have conversations about, I really do mean it. I'll read the comments, and right now I want to do another video just showcasing some PS1 games running on PS3, because it's a chance for we can remind other people that in fact does work, but I can also shed some light on other more unrecognized PS1 games. So hopefully all of you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at this video that I published a year ago. I don't exactly know when that's going to be happening again. I'm thankful I did that, because now I can look at that and be like, well, that was nice. That was a nice moment in our lives, right? So if you had fun in this video, please make sure to subscribe. Give me that thumbs up. Go down to the comment section and let me know, are there any other types of videos you would like for me to work on in 2021 and beyond? I'm constantly thinking about ways to reinvent, recreate. It's not a video that I can do all the time, right? But whenever I can, I get bored whenever I edit the same type of content, right? So that's why I love dedicating a lot of time with this video. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and up until next time, thank you for watching and supporting, and take care, everybody.